Hey guys, it's Cool Guy T258, and today I'm going to be doing my first Let's Play video on my new custom computer. I'm really excited. This is going to be awesome. I've played it a bit, played with my computer a bit before recording this, and I have to say it's pretty awesome. So yeah, the game that we're going to be playing is called Civilization, and it's one of my favorite games ever. I'd say it's really fun. It's a strategy based game based around like revolution and stuff. It's a strategy turn based game. So I'm gonna be in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you how to set up your game in single player. So let's get on into it. I usually play as Babylon, as I usually like doing a scientific victory, so I find that's the most interesting for me. You have to research all the spaceship parts, build them, and then build a spaceship. Seems pretty interesting. I've never actually won. I haven't played long enough. So on this channel I will play it long enough to win. So because I'm thinking this will start to be a series. I just want to see how you guys react. I hope you guys enjoy it, because I really enjoy this game. So yeah. I usually start in a map type as continents, because that's it's a few large land masses. Oh, whoops. So it is more of a challenge than just having Pangea, as it's just one large land mass. So it gives more of a challenge, I'd say. And sometimes you can get lucky and you can get a whole continent to yourself, which is pretty cool. I've had that happen before, but just with a few city-states. Those city-states are a bit annoying. So yeah, for map size, I do huge. That's why I find is the best, because you have the biggest map size possible. And if you don't want all these people, you can just delete them. I normally play with 6 teams, which I find is a good number. That's half of what it suggests. So, whatever. It gives a bigger map so you can claim more land, which is pretty awesome. Difficulty level, I always do Prince, as I'm not good enough to play Deity, but I'm more experienced than having to do the easier ones. For game pace, I normally do Epic, as I don't really like Quick, as I find it's too quick. And Standard, I find is also too quick. Sorry about that. Epic, I find is a good time because it's a bit longer than Standard, but it's not really long like Marathon. In advanced settings, I usually leave all the civilizations random, so it's a bit, you never know what you're gonna get. Life's like a box of chocolates. So for city-states, I normally just leave it at whatever it suggests. I find them, I usually will actually put them down, I usually do huge, so I'll put it usually at 20, so that it's not a bunch of them, because there's not much of civilizations, because I deleted a bunch. I find the city-states annoying, as they can get in your way, claim land that you wanted. So, they're helpful. You can ally them and get resources and stuff from them, or you can just take them over. Like, why not? More land to take over from. For maps type, I already did that. World Age, there. Or no, game era, actually. I always start in Ancient Era, because I don't like starting part way in, as I find it gets rid of part of the challenge, and then it's not as long. If you want a shorter game, then you can start in Information. Oh, something just changed. I usually just start in Ancient Era, because I find it's you can play for the longest, and it's the most interesting, because you have to research everything. For World Age, I normally do 4 billion years, as I'm not really sure what effect that has on the world. I've not experimented enough on that. Same as temperature. I think when you put cool, it puts more snow and ice, and hot, you get more deserts. For rainfall, I'm pretty sure that arid, you get more deserts, and wet, you get more jungles. For sea level, I normally keep that at medium because I don't want a low sea level, which means that it's mostly land, and I don't want a high sea level, means there's not much land. So I keep it pretty balanced. For resources, I do standard because I don't like sparse because there's not very much then. And abundant, it makes it just too easy. Legendary start, I don't really like that because you get a big advantage at the beginning, but I don't know. I just like having standard, so it's a bit more random, I'd say. So you could get, instead of getting abundant and you get like a bunch of good resources, you get standard and you get stuck with what you get stuck with. So it's more interesting, I'd say. Legendary start. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking about that. Strategic balance. That I don't really like because it balances more. I like having it more. You don't know, like, if there's more luxury resources or strategic resources. Strategic balance. So, yeah, I like it more. But I don't like it random, as you can get very few or very many. For victory types, I always do undo time, as I do not like having time because it I'm sorry. Time, if you play 400 turns, I think it is. Anyway, 400 turns in, something like that. And then it says game over. It's like, what? I wanted to continue to play, and it just like ends the game all of a sudden. It's like, it sort of, it's not as interesting, I'd say. So and also other civilizations can't win either by that time. I always just leave these so that you can win by the different ones, as it's more exciting and it's more challenging rather than just waiting until the end. For max turns, I do not have that on. Policy saving, I do have that on because it's nice to have a policy later. In case, like Liberty, you can get citizenship, which gives you a free worker, and there's another one that gives you free settler. And if you're getting attacked by barbarians, they might just take it if you adopt that policy, so it's kind of a nuisance. So I usually do that. For promotion saving, I do have that also. Same thing, if you want to promote it later, you don't want to do it right away. Complete kills, I like that because you can completely eliminate people and then you don't have to see them ever again if you don't really like them. It's like, I really don't like you, just want to get you out, and then they're all gone. So in case you destroy all their troops and you don't have this on, then they won't be eliminated from the game, which is pretty annoying. Well, complete kills, you have to get all the cities and units. Disable start bias, I like having that enabled, as Babylon starts in like Saudi Arabia, which is deserty. So I don't really like starting in the desert because there's not much, like, it doesn't output much food. So I like disable start bias, and you get a little more mystery because you don't know where you're gonna start. Like, you could start on the coast, on the land, instead of knowing exactly where you're gonna go. For new random seed, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Ancient ruins, I do like having, so I don't have that, as they're helpful because they have technologies. They can show the map around it, and they can show barbarian encampments. I like having barbarians because it makes it more interesting rather than, because, well, they take your workers, and I mean, shucks, it's annoying, but it makes it more interesting. Like, I tried it with Dark Carbon 5 and it was like, is this game over yet? It was so, there was no challenge. Like, for most of the game, we didn't have really a challenge. City raising, I do like having, in case you don't want to have the cities. Espionage I do like having because you can steal technologies and stuff. One city challenge I don't like having that because all the other AIs have more than one city, because as you can see, only human players get one city. That means that all the other AI can have as many as they want. Quick combat, I like having the combat and the movement, as it's a little bit of an animation. But if a computer can't handle it, it might be a good idea to tick that off, so you don't have crashes, which might take away from the fun of the game. You don't want to have to be dealing with crashes, so if your computer can't handle it, you might want to tick that off. But if it can, why not? It makes it a bit more realistic, I'd say. Raging Barbarians I don't like having, as they spawn way faster, and I mean, I find them annoying enough, but I find it too hard because they just spawn so much, and like, found it quite annoying trying to get rid of them already, and then it just spawns another run. It's like, seriously, I was so close to getting rid of it, and then it just spawns another one. So it would spawn faster, so it'd be harder to do that, to get rid of them completely. Random personalities, I do not like having that because I like it to be a bit more predictable with people, so I know who I can trust and I cannot. But it's a bit, sometimes I do put on random personalities, so it's a bit more random how they act. So yeah. So now I will start showing you how to, once you get into the game, how to settle your city and where's a good spot, and yeah. So that's coming up.
Long did it grow and prosper, gaining its first empire in the 18th century BC.
And then we begin our journey. Let's begin our journey. Oh, I did not start in a good spot. There's a lot of jungle. I mean, later on you can get a, forget what it's called, but there's one a building you can get in your city that will allow you to get one science point for each jungle worked. So I usually like having jungles in my city, but there's only truffles around, which is pretty good. It's a luxury resource. I mean, it's not the best start. I mean, in this situation, it is good that I am beside a river, as they give a bit more food. So I'd found my city here. I can't really move because it'd take a turn to move, which I'd be a bit behind. I mean, it might actually be worth it, like, but you're taking a risk when you do it, because look, I just see here there's nothing actually here. So I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't. For production, I normally do monument, as I get more culture, and so I can adopt a policy. And I like having liberty, as you can get citizenship, as I mentioned earlier. You can get a free worker and a collective rule, which gives you a free settler, which is pretty awesome anytime. Like, I'd take that anytime. But so for research, I normally do, based on whatever's around, I'll research whatever will benefit the most. Like, truffles requires trapping, but there's a forest there, so, oh no, never mind. I put a camp there. So to remove all these jungles around, though, I would need bronze working. So there's no mining around. So in this situation, I would probably do mining, as there's a lot of jungle around, and mining you can remove the forest that's nearby, so that's pretty handy, because I might want to remove it to put some farms down. So in this situation I'd research mining. So this concludes this video for Civilization. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this series, please be sure to leave a comment below. And if you have other suggestions for games, I'm always happy to hear that. So as always, comment below your suggestions, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you could help me out by leaving a like or commenting. If you don't want to leave a like or comment, that's okay. Just viewing my videos really helps me out. If you didn't enjoy and left a dislike, please tell me why, as I'm always trying to perfect my videos. If you want some more gaming and paintball videos, be sure to subscribe for new content often.